He's been here as Lieutenant Governor, but now I'm proud to bring you the Governor of the state of New York, David A. Paterson.
And a very happy birthday. This is the actual birthday of Reverend Sharpton, who is 54 years young today. He's 5 months younger than me. He's not a year younger than me. Clear that up. And actually, Reverend Sharpton was born in October, and Gregory Meeks was born in August. Myself was born in May, are kind of brown babies. In addition to color, we are born in the year of the Brown versus the Board of Education decision. The decision was rendered on Monday, May the 17th, 1954. I was born that Thursday, but they didn't think I could handle it by myself, so they sent Reverend Sharpton and Gregory Meeks on a couple months later. And it is interesting because we are honoring Chancellor Joe Klein today. And Chancellor Klein has been willing to take positions that would have been considered radical in the educational field some years ago, but it has to do with demanding accountability for education. And so this is why he and Reverend Sharpton, as part of the Education Equality Project, are demanding that we get equity in the educational system, right here in New York City and presumably all over this country. And they just are such interesting leaders working together. They were making me think of Jack Klugman and Tony Randall in The Odd Couple. But they never accomplished as much as Reverend Sharpton and Chancellor Klein are going to the Educational Equality Program. The fact is that when you finish high school, if you are lucky, and there's so many of us who were lucky, who were able to escape poor housing or substance abuse or crime or unemployment, and often they failed the educational system. If you're lucky enough to go to college, you get to choose the college that you can attend, assuming that they accept you. So you see students thinking about going all over the country to try to go to college. The state that imports more students from other places to come to college is New York. And the reality is that that is your choice when you're 18. So the question is, why would you not have the same choice when you're 5? Why wouldn't your parents be able to send you in a competitive system to the place that they think could best educate you? Where even the educational protocols, which are often in dispute, they are the type that would allow you to, with your family, make those decisions. So we are not in any way challenging workers. Workers should be paid for the value of their work. We're not going to tolerate any union busting. We're not going to tolerate any subjugation of the workforce, which some people do by coming up with these ideas, but what they're really trying to do is stop people from earning a living, and particularly teachers from earning a living. So I want to make that clear. But what we are saying is, the more you have a competitive atmosphere in education, the more people have to fight for how well they educate children. Now, at a time when 37% of African Americans and 1/3 of Hispanic students are not even getting their high school educations, you would think that if this were one of these Wall Street corporations, they'd have gone down a long time ago. But the new leadership in our Department of Education in New York with Chancellor Klein is giving us an opportunity to re-examine how we get kids to learn. And it's interesting that in our charter schools, which are not selected based on elitism, There's no skimming of the best talent from communities. These are lotteries that those schools are performing so well. And what it tells me is no matter what it is we haven't learned in our world in the 21st century, we've always known how to teach children. When we put them in the right environment, children will learn. No matter what ethnicity they are, no matter what color they are, no matter what neighborhood they live in, no matter how impoverished they are, they can learn. And that's really all we're trying to accomplish, because once we give children that equipment in our educational system, then they can go out and the sky is the limit, not only for their careers, but for the that which they can impart to the world. And so I want to thank Reverend Sharpton and the Chancellor and all of you for being here today. I was at a meeting about 13 or 14 years ago, and I'd been a state senator for about 10 years at the time, and I had even become the deputy minority leader of the Senate. That's one of those titles that I was brandishing at one of Reverend Sharpton's birthdays. And they started talking about predatory lending, and I hadn't heard of what predatory lending actually was. And in the original predatory lending, they would come to people that weren't even looking for homes. They would come to people to say, you know, you could do some home improvements. We'll give you a big loan. And then, when mostly seniors couldn't pay the loans back, then they attached the house and attacked the mortgage, and many of our seniors lost their houses in the late 90s because of predatory lending. And that's what gave a number of people the idea.